And I know you've been there. You've, even if you've not lost a loved one, you've lost an opportunity. It could be have been a pet. You could have lost a relationship, even your identity. I mean, loss is such a common language that we all speak. Hi there, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. It's been so heartwarming to see you like the videos, comment, and share with your friends and family. I don't take you for granted, and I truly appreciate this community that we're building, and you have made it possible. So, a huge thank you before we even get into today's video. My name is Grace Amoka, a Nigerian teacher trying to live her best life and help others do the same. I typically film about education, of course, empowerment through leadership, and expression through public speaking. Today's video, however, is slightly different. It's about life, really, and teachers go through life as well. I'm going to be sharing about how losing my sister changed my perspective to life and work. So I'll basically be sharing lessons that I have learned through all of that. I'm not going to go into details of all of the loss and how it happened and of that. I have another video for that should be coming up in another 2 months or so, but I already have it ready. I'll just be sharing some of the lessons that I have learned, and the first one is the fragility of life and the importance of cherishing moments. Oh, we can get carried away by all the things that we have to do, the places we have to go to. We want to save the world and change destinies so much so that we forget to cherish the moments and actually just live in the moment. Yesterday we prayed for today, but when today comes, we forget to just sit in there and enjoy the gift of life that God has given us. One of the things that helped me through, and I would say helped us as a family through those moments of grief, is just knowing that we had very rich moments. My sister died at 27, but it didn't feel like it was as short as 27 years because every moment counted for us. We were present. I didn't have any regrets of, oh, how I wish I had told her more that I loved her, or how I wish we had spent more time together, or any of those things. I didn't have all of those. I didn't have any regrets. And that's not to say if you had a challenge with any of your loved ones and they passed on, it doesn't make you a bad person. When we know better, we do better. But just to say that, let's learn to live in the moment. When you're with your friends, put down your device and just cherish the moments that you have with them, because for some of us, it's not that they will die. Nobody prays, to lose our friends and our loved ones, but it could be that will be the last time you're spending with them before they relocate to another country, and you may not see them for a very long time. I mean, let's just learn to live more in the moment, and this is one of the things that dealing with loss has taught me. The second one is very closely related with the first, which is prioritizing relationships over tasks. I'm still learning this, trust me, but it's one thing that I've been super intentional about. Just understanding that the jobs will change, the things that I need to do will change, but the people in my life typically will remain constant. My mother will be my mother, my father will be my father. So I'm very intentional, even when I get so, because I cannot lie, I can be a bit too immersed in my work sometimes because I actually love what I do, but I remind myself every time to step back and prioritize the people in my life, because they are the ones that truly matter. After all is said and done, they are the ones that you will have for the rest of your life, hopefully. You don't want a case where years down the line, when all you have is them, you don't want to start to build a relationship that you never had in the beginning. So it's definitely worth prioritizing. The third lesson I learned, this one, it was not a lesson that I started on, I said no, it was my first lesson, which is resilience, even in the face of loss. And I know you've been there. You've, even if you've not lost a loved one, you've lost an opportunity. It could be have been a pet. You could have lost a relationship, even your identity. I mean, loss is such a common language that we all speak. And it just teaches you resilience. The fact that you go through something and you never thought that, if anybody had told you prior to experiencing that, you would have said, no, 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 no. If this happens to me, I'm going to give up. Like, I'm going to die. I mean, it's going to be the end of me. But somehow you've gone through really trying times, and you've just seen the resilience and the strength of the human spirit. So one of the things that, all of this has taught me, and how it has changed my approach to life and work, is just understanding that there's so much strength that I have. And sometimes I'm just like, God, please don't. You know how they say God reserves the strongest battles for his fiercest warriors. I'm like, I'm not among. Don't add me to that WhatsApp group of warriors. I don't want to war any warrior. But that's one lesson that I'm learning through this. The fourth is finding purpose in pain. Oh my goodness. One of my friends always says, you can't, I mean, there's nothing you can do about what you have experienced. But then, if you fail to make the most of whatever painful experience you've had, then you get to lose twice. So find the purpose in the pain that you have gone through or you're going through. There's someone out there that needs you to help them understand how to navigate those seasons. We don't go through things in life just because of us. And, having to deal with us has just helped me find purpose in pain. There's a book that I wrote two books. Yeah. The first one is Beautiful Scars, and it's about just that journey of navigating the uncharted waters of losing a loved one. And then there's a journal that accompanies it, Colors of Hope, and it helps you to track your progress, document your thought processes as you go through that trying time. There are coloring pages. It's just like the coolest stuff ever. And I can't count how many times people send me messages to say, oh, thank you so much for writing the book, Beautiful Scars. It has really helped me. I mean, there's a ministry now where we help people going through grief as well. There's just a lot that can come out of that painful process. So I'm learning that in life and in work and in everything that I do, there's purpose in my pain. One of my mom's favorite scriptures that I have adopted, 1 Corinthians 10:13, it says, there is no temptation that has come your way, but such as is common to man. But God is faithful. He won't tempt you more than what you can bear. And for me, I usually, in place of temptation, I would put circumstance or situation. There's no situation that you're going through that someone else has not gone through. And God is faithful. He won't let you go under. He won't let you go through more than you can actually bear, but he will create a way of escape for you. So don't think about your pain as the end of you. It's not the end of you. One of my other friends says, it's never the end till God is glorified in whatever situation you find yourself. So let your pain pay you. Find ways to help other people through their own either grieving processes or whatever process it is that you're going through, or you have gone through. Yeah. So that's another one. Turning grief into growth opportunities. The fifth lesson that I have learned is embracing imperfection, like embracing imperfection in work and life, and just showing up as the best version of yourself every opportunity you get, rather than waiting to dot all the I's and cross all the T's. Just show up. Show up. Progress, not perfection. That's something that I saw my sister leave. That was her life. She was going to show up. She wasn't going to wait till she was ready in the way that we define readiness. She was just going to show up, imperfect but willing to learn from whatever she tried. I always like to say that there would never have been the higher versions of whatever technology it is that you're currently using if the person didn't say, oh, let's put out the first one the first time. You can't edit what you haven't written. You can't refine what you haven't started. I mean, so just that, embracing that life will never be perfect, but I can learn through all of those imperfect moments. I can take imperfect actions and learn through it. This story of your life that you're writing with God, I hope you are. Nobody has lived your life before. Yeah. So as much as people try to tell us and give us tips on how to do one thing or the other, no one has lived your life. So you need to be comfortable enough to learn through the process. I know that you won't be perfect at anything. You will stumble, you will start something, you will fail. And failure is just a part of the success story. So that's another lesson that I have learned. The sixth lesson is the power of community and support systems. I will never be tired of singing this. You were not made to do life alone. There's a reason that God places the solitary in families. There's a reason that the family unit, the family institution, is so big in the heart of God. The friends he places around us, that's because you were not designed to do life alone. So never try to do life alone. There's no way I would have navigated this entire process if I didn't have people around me, people to show up for me, people to just be there for me, and people I could lean on their shoulders, people I could call and just say, I want to cry today. That's all I want to do today. And they're like, it's fine. People that you can't do without community. So in your work and in your life, remember that God designed us to live and work and thrive in communities. So find your tribe, love them hard, fight for them, and just be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be for them. The seventh lesson, of course, everything kind of ties around this seventh one, which is reevaluating what truly matters and what is truly important. And one example that just comes readily to my mind is in 2023. Yes, 2023, I had just gotten this fantastic opportunity to work at the World Bank, and I had traveled to Washington, D.C., the headquarters, because that's where I was supposed to be working. And barely 1 month after I resumed duty, my brother was supposed to be getting married. Mind you, I mean, at that time, I was not balling per se. So it's not like I had all the money in the world. But I thought about the fact that he has only one sibling. Yeah. His wedding is once in this whole life, and I was just thinking about how I would be looking through the pictures, photo albums, and I'll be telling my children in the future that, oh, this was your uncle's wedding. I was doing one fancy job like that, so I couldn't make it. It wasn't really, really making sense to me. So that was when I made the decision that I was gonna defy all the odds. I was going to make it happen. And once I made up my mind that I was going to come for that trip, the resources were available for me. Every single person was excited. That it was such an emotional period for my family, honestly, just having me present. So this experience has taught me to just reevaluate at every point in my life what is truly important. So before I take on any opportunity, before I decide to up and move to anywhere, I ask myself, will this matter in the next 2 to 5 years? When I'm 60 and I'm thinking about the decisions that I have made. And I mean, these decisions that you make, they won't be perfect, but ask yourself, what is truly important to me? Because what is important to me, Grace Amoka, may not be important to you. Family is high up there on my list. So for me, it's easy to make certain kinds of decisions because I know what my priorities are. So before you take a job, before you get into that relationship, before you think about what truly matters to me, is God pleased with this decision that I'm going to make? What does, my faith say about it, basically? Yeah, so you get the point. So reevaluate what truly matters and what's most important to you. And finally, the final big thing that I'm learning, I've learned how, losing my sister has changed my approach to work and life, is living intentionally and authentically. See, this one, I have to drop this because when I think about Eunice, that was what she embodied. Eunice was intentional about every single detail of her life. She was authentic to herself. Eunice was her. I remember in university, she would do some things we would consider, wow, weird. Like she would wake up and shave her hair because she felt, I mean, it wasn't going to hurt anybody. That's what she wanted to do. Do you understand? And I'm not saying things that are obviously morally wrong, things like that. Before you take this and you say, Grace, say we should do whatever we feel like. Do you know that's not what I mean? Who are you? And it goes back to having that introspection to ask yourself, who am I really? Who does God say that I am? And what does it mean to be authentic to myself? Um, there are ways that I show up in life that people can say, there's a Grace Amoka signature on it. Do you have that kind of thing for yourself? So one of the things Eunice's life really taught me through and through is just being authentic and being very intentional. And that's one of the reasons that I show up the way that I do, even when I don't feel like it. That's one of the reasons I'm not really concerned about, what will people say about, I'm starting a YouTube channel today, tomorrow I'm doing a podcast, I'm putting myself out there and sharing my voice because my voice truly matters. Eunice was an advocate for live life fully. I mean, I don't know whether she had any inkling that she was going to be here for just 27 years, but she lived with such intention. She lived with a sense of urgency, and that's one of the things I'm really learning. I really hope to live a full, very long, thriving age. But for me, it's more of the quality of life. So if I live to 100 and the 100 years I've lived, there's no impact, there's no legacy, I haven't touched anybody's life, is pretty useless. Someone that lived probably just 20 years may be better than me. So living authentically and very intentionally, live with intention. These few minutes, whatever day it is that you're watching this video, you cannot get it back. Do you get? You're getting closer to the end of your life with every single day that passes. As the clock ticks, that time you can't go back. So why not live with intention? I can't continue to say live with intention, live with intention, live with intention, but I know that you get the point. And just put it in the chat, one thing you're taking away from today's video. Don't forget to like this video, share it with someone that needs to hear all this, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I mean, about 90% of you that watch the videos, you've not subscribed. Why? Please subscribe to this channel so that all the things you're learning, you can actually apply them in your life. I'm super grateful. Thank you for being here and doing this with me. Till next time, remember, God loves you so, so much. See ya on the next one.